O kapasyapan ko. Kripa no, chuk-chuk, wik-chok-kabika.
They will trade all the parts for the best car.
I'm not gonna trade anything. These are my parts. They stole them from me.
Hukto, binale, chuk-chuk.
Dijok.
Kalapisa na kuta. Marifarin si Nana Wookie.
You understand this?
Easy.
Web of comics is amazing. Like what?
We will stand and fight. We will stand and fight. Fear doesn't get it. It just goes to the no, that's it. Hey, that's what it is. It just goes to the no, that's it. It doesn't get it. It goes to the no, that's it.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yo, Chuck, what's the move, man? I was on my way up here to the studio, you know what I'm saying? And this brother stopped me and asked me, yo, what's up with that brother Chucky D? He swear he nice. I said, yo, the brother don't swear he nice, he knows he's nice, you know what I'm saying? So, Chuck, I got a feeling you turning into a public enemy, man. Now, remember that line you was kicking to me on the way out to L.A. Lounge in Queens while we was in the car on our way to the shop? Well, yo, right now, kick the bass for them brothers and let them know what goes on.
Rolling stones of the rap game, not bragging. Lips bigger than Jagger, not sagging. Spell it backwards, I'ma leave it at that. That ain't got nothing to do with rap. Check the facts, expose those cats who pose as heroes, take advantage of blacks. The government's gangsters, so cut the crap. A war going on, so where y'all at?
Hey, Nyobi.
Take responsibility, F the police, who's stopping you from killing
Hey,
me? This ass
Nyobi.
is the ass goes on loop by PE. If it's eyes, then we believe in TV. Spitting rich and bitches, this new thing about snitches. Watch the masses move as the masses switches. System dissed him, but barely missed her. My soul intention to save my brothers and sisters. Get up!
Just like that.
Boom, shakalaka. She's on fire.
Get up!
Just like that.
Get up!
Just like that. Yeah, that's right, Chuck, man. That's what you gotta do. You got to tell them just like that. You know what I'm saying? Cause yo, man, let me tell you a little something, man. These brothers running around, hard-headed, they get a little jealous, you know what I'm saying? Just like that, you know, they try to bring you down with them. But yo, Chuck, you got to tell them just like that.
Screaming gangster 20 years later. Of course,
you're gonna take a baseball bat to a horseman, finish the job, because there's one rule of gang fighting. See, we are the original gang, and we're the most vicious in all of professional wrestling history. They send one of yours to the hospital, you send one of theirs to the morgue.
Crazy, keep it moving, rising to the top. Duck fresh, clean living, you don't stop. Revolution means change, don't look at me strange. So I can't repeat what other rappers be saying. If you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. Harder than you think is a beautiful thing. Get up! Get up! Get up!
We are the future, Charles, not them. They no longer matter.
Yeah, that's right, Chuck, man. That's what you gotta do. You got to tell them just like that. You know what I'm saying? Cause yo, man, let me tell you a little something, man. These brothers running around hard-headed. They get a little jealous, you know what I'm saying? Just like that. You know, they try to bring you down with them. But yo, Chuck, you got to tell them just like that.
So it's time to leave you a preview, so you too can review what we do. 20 years in this business, how you sell soul, she wins. People bear witness. Thank you for letting us be ourselves. So don't mind me if I repeat myself. These simple lines be good for your health, to keep them crime rhymes on the shelf. Live, love life like you just don't care. 5,000 leaders never scared. Rain and noise is the moment they feared. Get up, still a beautiful idea. Get up, throw your hands in the air. Get up and show no fear. Get up if y'all really care. You need 20 years, now get up.
Yeah, that's right. We're public enemy number one in New York. Public enemy number one in Philly. Public enemy number one in D.C. Public enemy number one in Cleveland, Ohio. Also, we're public enemy number one in St. Louis. Public enemy number one in New Jersey. And Buzzard. We're also public enemy number one in Cincinnati. In Atlanta. We're the public enemy number one in Chicago. Public enemy number one in Detroit. Public enemy number one in Oakland. Public enemy number one in Baltimore. Public enemy number one in Miami. Public enemy number one in Indiana. Also public enemy number one in LA. Also we're public enemy number one in Alabama, y'all. Public enemy number one in Tennessee. Public enemy number one in Mississippi. That's like that. Just like that. Just like that.
I'm back, and I'm better than ever. Got a knack for making things better. Face facts, 'cause your opinion don't matter. This a maniac is gonna step on whomever. Time getting light, 'cause I'm gonna make it change. Kicking ass, taking names, cleaning house all the baby.
He's crazy.
Dead wood burning down town. This is only my way, so get your ass in line.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live.
They say that I've lost it.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world on HBO pay-per-view. Ladies and gentlemen, from Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, let's get ready to rumble!
I am the best wrestler in the world. I've been the best ever since day one when I walked into this company, and I've been vilified and hated since that day because Paul Heyman saw something in me that nobody else wanted to admit. That's right, I'm a Paul Heyman guy.
Welcome to another edition of Thunderdome!
Finally, The Rock has come back!
This is home, JR! Right here!
Honestly, that's a question you should ask yourself, Megatron. One shall stand, one shall fall.
Oh my god! The government is here! Run, easy, run!
All hail the Ayatollah of rock and roller!
Oh, is this thing on? Is this thing on? Mostly hibernating in the summertime, right? But I think I'm starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel. I hope. Went out and saw Supergirl today with an old buddy of mine. Shout out to Pete. If you're out there watching. Even got recognized at the theater by a son that goes to the convention. I sound faint. Yeah, I know why. Because I'm a boomer. That's why. Hold on. I gotta play the boomer now. I deserve it. No, it's because I had things backwards. It's fixed now.
Am I a boomer? Am I a boomer? How about that? Am I a boomer? Boom! Am I a boomer? Boom!
I deserve it one more time. I'm a boomer.
Am I a boomer? Am I a boomer? How about that? Am I a boomer? Boom!
Boom, boom. Whoa. It's a Mario. Yeah. So I got to get this set up so I can invite some peoples in here. I did see the Supergirl movie. Fatal J, he's going to hate my guts, man. As I know, Fatal J, he didn't like the movie. And I watched, Fatal J, what he had to say on it, So I went into the movie kind of expecting the worst and hoping for the best, and kind of got somewhere in between, right? It's certainly not the grand scale that like Avengers is. And if you're going into the movie expecting, that sort of scale superhero movie, then I think you're lying to yourself, at that point, right? Because that's not what it is. I'll explain what it is here in a second. I gotta fix something in the back here, though. I'm working some StreamYard's magic behind the scenes. Right? Bear with me. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll use it anyway. I'm just trying to figure out what the background's going to be. Otherwise, what you'll see is a green screen. So. All right. Yeah, it's probably not going to work. Fuck. Fuck. All right. No. Yeah, I guess we'll leave it there. All right. Send out link. I'm going to send out links. Like the way Oprah gives out cars. I'm going to send out links. Like we're from Legend of Zelda here. I'm actually only sending out one link. Whip boo. Freedom of speech. All right, we're casting a line. We're going to see if any fish bite. Boy, just watch what you say. I have heard that a few times. I want the right to walk where I'm gonna. You know I'm gonna. So we're just going to stall here for a minute. If you're with me, hello, what's going on? Magic. This isn't Limbo. You guys want magic? You know, Magic heard, through the grapevine, right, that I would like to write a comic book for her. One-shot, backup story, something in an annual, I don't care. And she only had one response. Canadians? Right? You want me to deal with more Canadians? Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, I do. Because we got to throw it out there to the universe that this is what we want to do, right? I think my name on a Magic story, quite honestly, would sell some comics. This word of mouth of how much I love this character, I think, would carry it a long way. Magic sells herself, though. She doesn't need my help, right? I mean, it's true. She doesn't need my help. But, I mean, if we're talking about, if the gods came down and, granted me one comic book wish sort of thing, right? It would be, let me have a shot at Magic, All right. No. I got music blasting from somewhere. We're going to kill the music. We are going to turn up the desktop audio so you can actually hear the man in the back. Let's bring him in. It's the Bitcoin assassin himself, Samuel.
The angry Canadian. The angry Canadian.
Been kind of the down and out Canadian lately.
Yeah, I know. Bro.
I'm okay today. Tomorrow, who knows? That's kind of the weird thing about dealing with what I got to deal with, Fatal J's in the chat. Do you got a Fatal J? I got a Fatal J. He says, "Man, ever since I met you, you really love that character." She's heard of you, Duckman. Yeah, she has. So yeah, I've been away for, it's only like 5 days, but it feels like forever, Haven't really done much, haven't really said much, haven't really poked my head around, quiet on all fronts, if you will. And, I went through a depression phase, if you will. And it comes and goes, right, with me. But when it strikes, it strikes hard, And for me, it takes a good week or two to sort of crawl through that, right? And we're at the end of week 1, and I can tell that it's getting better because I want to do things more, right? Like I went to the movies tonight. That was, yeah, after thinking about all last night, how I was going to cancel out of it. You know what I mean? But I woke up today and like, you know what? No, I want to go see the movie. I want to go see the movie, man. You know what I mean? And I went and picked up my buddy Pete, local buddy Pete, longtime friend Pete, and he's a big DC guy. He loves his DC more than Marvel, And I thought he'd be the perfect guy, right, to sort of go and see the movie with, you know. And so that's what we did. You know, I had a big thing of popcorn and, you know, big fucking Coca-Cola and some Reese's Pieces, all fucking overpriced. You know what I mean?
Of course.
But, you know, it's like sort of like my treat to myself, you know? Because there really should be no reason that I'm down and out. There really should be none, right? And I'll tell you why. Because Nyobi Outbreak's almost done. We're coloring the last like fucking 5 pages. You know what I mean? Then it goes to lettering, and you know I'm still got the money I need to print it and ship it. You know, so there's no worries on the front that this book isn't going to get done. It's a little bit stressful just waiting for it to get done. You know, because I just want to, you know, I want to start mailing packages yesterday, right? Because I'm starting to get messages now, like, "Hey, did I miss the tracking number?" Like, no, I did an update the other day, but like I had, you know, like, but I had a couple of messages of people thinking that maybe it's been mailed and I missed them. You know what I mean? I was like, no, nothing's even hit the mail yet. Don't worry, when it does, and you know, whoever out there that's listening, if you are waiting on the books, like I said, there's still 5 or 6 pages to be colored. Then we go through the lettering phase, but that's usually pretty quick. And then my man Russ, he takes care of you know, the pre-production just to make sure it's all fit for print format wise.
Russ Cassidy.
Yeah, he's kind of, you know, so don't put me in the spotlight, but there you go, Sam. You put him in the spotlight.
Yep.
But
gotta shine that light a little bit,
you know,
sometimes.
light
you know?
does good. You know, sunlight, man, does a lot of good. You know, trying to get more sun in my life, Sam. You know, that vitamin D from the sky. Very helpful. Very helpful. So what the fuck? Oh yeah. So the wait won't be long now. I did say August for estimated delivery date, and there's a reason why I do that. You know, because I didn't really think it would take till August, but
you want to hedge your bets.
So, what's the cardinal rule, Sam, that I have when assigning a shipping date for your crowdfunders? Do you remember?
Always make sure you leave the baby powder out because the post office doesn't like that shit.
But I mean, that's a good tip, guys. Store that one away. No, the rule of thumb is allow your
always project a couple of months ahead, so that you make sure
because delays happen, earthquakes happen in the Philippines. Right? And I don't mean to make light of it, but there was an earthquake in the Philippines, and that's where my colorist is. So that's why
They got a second one too. They got hit by this one that also went off the same time. The one in Japan and Venezuela
so
went off.
you know, stay safe out there. You know what I mean?
Philippines is getting just hammered by the earthquake.
So that's where my colorist is. So there was a slight delay on that. It wasn't too long, but I mean, you know, but we're moving. It's happening. Don't think we've taken the money or ran or anything like that. I want this book done and out more than the people who are waiting on it. You know, because it does close a chapter. It closes the Nyobi chapter, not completely, but at least that, you know, man, that thing of having a story unfinished, it won't be hanging over my head. You know, like, you know, we just move on to whatever the next project's going to be. And that brings me to my second piece of news why I shouldn't be down and out, is because I did find a job, a relatively decent job for what I'm going to be able to pick up. You know what I mean? Hopefully it works out. I'm because I did a job last month and it only lasted 5 days. It didn't really work out, right? So I'm hesitant to say this is the answer and everything is fixed, you know, because you know, I don't know.
Right.
But what I can tell you is I'm going back to my roots, if you will. For 15 to 20 years, I've done work in contact centers, call centers, whether it's inbound taking calls or making calls or a mix of both, or, you know, answering emails and chats. I've done it all. I worked for a dating site. I've worked for fucking AOL. I worked for fucking Rogers up here in Canada. You know, I've worked for smaller companies, big companies. You know, in the call center world, you tend to jump around a bit, right? Even this company, which I'm working for now, this will be my 3rd or 4th time working for them. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But they've gone through different name changes and sort of thing, but it's still the same place. You know what I mean? Still in the same location, mostly the same people. It's fully remote though. When that's something that I don't like. I actually like going to the call center, to the call floor, sitting with 2 or 3 people you get along with, right? You know, you shoot the shit, you take your calls. It makes the time go by faster. Plus, you're less distracted because you're in the work environment, so your mind is heavily focused on work because that's what you're surrounded by. At home, I find that there's just way too many distractions, you know. Even if you like...
Usually at home because I work from home 3 days a week, and I think usually when I'm at home, I'm so hyper-focused on work, honestly, because there's no one else here usually, because during the school year, Willow's at school. And the thing that does it for me is that I also get this thing in the back of my mind where I'm like, are they watching my keystrokes? You know, are they watching what my activity is? So my numbers are actually higher when I'm home.
Yeah, I'll be doing roadside assistance. I'm like a dispatcher. That's what I'm going to be doing. So like Sam, you know, he breaks down in Louisville, Kentucky. He's on his way to the convention, right? He's overpaid for the table, but he's got 3,000 books in the trunk, and he really needs to get there, but he's got a flat tire, you know. He's going to call.
It's nice that you think I only take 3,000 books to the car. I need to start taking only 3,000 books to the con.
He's going to call me, and I'm going to.
You'd be proud of me though, man. I only took 900 to Lexicon.
Man. How many did you come back with? You don't have to answer that.
600, I think. No, that's not right.
You sold 200 books. Fuck, you know what I mean? That's not.
We sold like 215.
It's fucking epic, man. Sam the man says Blight Blazer is getting those prints out. We'll talk about that. We're going to catch up with Sam. I just want to kind of go through my spiel here a little bit because, you know, I did say something on Facebook about this. I know some people have been messaging me and, you know, just kind of curious to if I'm okay. Where's my headspace at, you know?
It's also an important subject, really, if you think about it. There's a lot of people who maybe go through it and don't want to talk about it. So it's a good opportunity to...
I'm too old to care, you know, about being embarrassed, right? If going through these things is embarrassing, then fuck it, man. Consider me embarrassed, you know?
Yeah.
Right? But I had a lot of anxiety and a lot of fear leading up to this week because for the longest time, and Sam knows this, and my you know, the closest to me knows this, that I've been struggling for money for a while now. You know, I've been worried about a lot of things, and I think you know, I was worried about losing Nyobi. I'm worried about just paying my own way around here. I'm, you know, just, you know, almost like a fucking midlife crisis. You know what I mean? And so where you gotta, it's almost like I had a hard drive crash in my fucking brain.
It's a lot of anxiety.
And finally, like, it just got built up too much, and I had a fucking system shut down for about 4 or 5 days, you know? And a lot of that time was spent in my room, lying down and doing nothing, you know, listening to YouTube to the point where it put me to sleep, and I'm waking up to Sam talking about Prince. You know what I mean? That's happened. My YouTube just runs through a bunch of stuff when, you know, and apparently I just get knocked out to it, and I wake up to either a comic book broadcast or a fucking wrestling podcast, you know, or music, right? Whatever my YouTube wants to randomly spit out, you know. I woke up to it. Woke up to it. Sam woke me up, you know. But yeah, so I think just all these worries and fears just shut me right the fuck down, you know. And even when I got the call and they're like, yeah, we're going to offer you the job, welcome aboard. I knew that wasn't going to fix me overnight. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes, it's great. I have it, and hopefully it works out. And, you know, even in the long or the short term, it's going to be a bonus to me. But that didn't solve the problem, you know, like it still took, because I knew about this maybe about 4 days ago that I had this job. Like I knew I was going to get it, but I got confirmation 4 days ago. Right. And that's, you know, I thought, oh, that's going to lift me out of the funk. It didn't, you know. I still had to go through the process of just, you know, it's almost the way I would, if we're to like compare it to, say, computers. My brain had to go through a defrag. And then it had to sort of fucking put itself back together. And it's still sort of doing that, you know? But we're moving ahead. I think, I'm going to put a lot of effort into this new job. I got to make it work. I find training from home over a computer not the best way to do it. But the reason why they do it is so they can hire people that are not directly in the city. They can reach out and get more potential employees that way. Because if they only ran it at the office, and you got to be, close by, So I get it, but we'll I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. It's $18 an hour, which is $3 more than the minimum wage here. So that's probably about 12 cents US. You know what I mean? But for the first 4 weeks, it's going to be full time. Like, it's full time training, 4 weeks, 40 hours a week. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, that's going to be $2,000 right there just in fucking training, maybe 2,200 that I'm going to bank immediately. So that I have some cushion for the next project, And then if the calls go well, then, we carry on, It's going to be a lot of evenings and weekends, right? They're looking at about 32 hours a week is what I was told to expect.
That's not too bad.
Right?
That's not too bad.
They said anywhere from 20 to 40. If it's really dead call volume-wise, I might be, they're guaranteeing me 20, but they said chances are you're working 4 days a week. You know what I mean? At 8 hours a day, so about 32 hours, and then that could increase or decrease. But it'll be a lot of evenings and weekends, and my shifts are going to probably be different every couple of weeks. You know what I mean? So what that means is, as far as this show and all this stuff goes, I can't promise every Wednesday night anymore. As far as when we're going to do a comic book podcast or whatever, right? They're just going to happen when I'm able to do them, So, as cool as it was, because we were just starting to get somewhere with that Wednesday show, like people were expecting us to be on Wednesday, and I can see that sort of slowly happening. But, if they have me work on Wednesday night, what can I do? You know what I mean?
Just postpone to the next day.
And it all depends on schedule shifts too. I mean, if they start me off at noon to 8, you know what I mean? At 9 or 10, if I feel like I'm up to it and I want to go on for a bit, I can, But I'm going to be pushing for late night shifts with these guys. You know what I mean? I'm going to volunteer for if they got graveyard shifts and shit like that. That's the type of stuff I kind of want to do, because that's, I've been Nighthawk this whole entire time. So,
right.
They don't have any worries about me trying to get a day shift, because I already know those are gone by seniority anyway. You know what I mean? I already know those are gone. But if this works out, it'll give me the money to pay my way around here, and it will give me money to put away for future Nyobi. Because here's the thing, Sam. And I'm glad that this project Outbreak 5 is going to be over with, and I'm basically starting now with a fresh slate, right? You learn a lot when you make comic books. And Sam, what do you think was the mistake I made? And there's probably a fucking 100 different answers, but I mean, I got one in my mind.
Probably the same one a lot of us made, and that was adding a second title line before the first one was ready to be concluded. I did the same mistake. I'm still doing that. Don't get me wrong. I love the fact that I can juggle those, but the reality of it is, it would probably be more efficient and maybe even better for the readers if I had just proceeded and continued 47 Furious Tales until we concluded that, or until we got to like 10, 11, 12, those last couple of issues. I think that would have been better. And the same thing, I think Savage Syn, great book. I think that having in its place the next Nyobi book, and then moving through that, then starting up Savage Syn after that, I think would have been a really good way to do it. But now this is hindsight, right? And hindsight's
we got to learn from hindsight, And I want other people to sort of learn from our hindsight, right? Because Sam is absolutely right in what he just said. You know, I started not only just Savage Syn, but I did Nyobi Penguina as well, which ate up extra funds. You know what I mean? I also did Nyobi #2, the remastered edition, which cost me about $4,000 in coloring just to recolor and letter that and put that out, right? Yeah. So I juggled a few different little projects that, had I not done that, that would have been, you know, $12,000, $18,000 used towards the real Nyobi stuff. You know what I mean? Now, do I regret Savage Syn? Only that I can't afford to juggle both. You know what I mean? One has to sit on the back burner for a minute, you know? And Savage Syn, I don't know if that should be the next book I pursue. You mentioned, you know, doing something with Nyobi first and then, you know, going back to Savage Syn, you know? But Savage Syn 3, if I get it done, then that also wraps up a storyline that's not hanging over my head, right?
And see, that's the kind of thing. Like, your Outbreak is wrapping up. I think maybe finish Savage Syn and then do the 2 trades. And we've talked about the optimization on that as far as the money goes, because you need to monetize it in order to help fund the next title line that's running, the next storyline that's running, whichever way you want to do it. And that's the thing about being a creator, particularly when you're the writer and not the artist on comics. Being able to juggle that material is not as hard as being able to keep the funding on that material, especially if you want to keep the same team and keep quality personnel, because these are people who need to be paid, and keeping them on that contract, on that title, I think is a worthy exercise in making sure that you're making a decent payroll.
Yeah, you got to make sure that you're looking after and honoring all your deals with the people that you're working with. You know what I mean? And if you can't do that, then you're not ready for prime time, you know? Exactly. I mean, it just is, right? You know, the one thing that both you and I and, you know, others that we know can hang our hat on, especially if you're swimming in my channel, right? It's kind of a cardinal rule here that you got to kind of, you know, not rip off artists, you know, pay on time, deliver on time as much as you can. You know, shit happens, but I mean, don't intentionally, you know, fuck the dog. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, this is all of us here. Even in times we're running late or if we run into hiccups, everyone's always working for a solution. You know, Max and Johnny are solving their issue, which was, in all honesty, not their fault. They're taking care of that. I mean, I've had times where I've been a few weeks behind and got things ironed out. I think that the key thing above all is to make sure that you're honest with your backers, the people who are supporting you. Keep them informed, and whatever you do, no matter how tough things get with it, get the project done. Fulfill your obligations. Make sure that your backers are getting their treasures, because, you know, there's a lot of other people who are making cool content, and if you earn those backers' trust the first time, that isn't a give me. You've got to earn it every time.
Yeah, it only takes once to fuck up everything, you know. You're always going to... It's like wrestling. You're only as good as your last match, right? So in comic books, you know, you're as good as your last project. You know, did your last project get out there and fulfilled? Okay, cool. That's assuming that all the ones that came before it also did so, you know. Don't be, you know, don't be one of these guys out there, people, that have 4 or 5 open projects. You know, it's a lot to juggle. You know what I mean?
I have 2, well, 1 live and 1 open, and the one that's open, the book should be here within the next 4 days, right? And so we're fulfillment scheduled for July, so we should actually be fulfilling that first week of July right on time, which I'm really, really happy about. And then the art print campaign is fulfilling in July. We have the main art print press run is here. And then the holochromes, we have a short press run. I didn't think we were going to need more than 50. So we'll have those here in a couple of days. If we get to where we have, say, 35 or 40 copies that are needed for the campaign, I'll go ahead and order 20 or 50 more, so that we make sure we have enough to cover.
There you go, man. There you go.
Because it's more important to cover the obligations than it is to squeeze out a few extra pennies, because those books will sell at cons later. But the backers have to be the priority. They have to.
You're almost funded for the print campaign. I'm taking a peek.
We funded first day. We funded first day. We are at 250% of goal.
Here, I'll pop it up on screen here just so people can.
No, we have very small goal because everything was already paid for, right? But actually, we're a little higher than that now. We just had another backer come in. We have 18 backers, and we're just short of $800 on a $300 goal. So we're rapidly closing on.
It looks higher in Canadian duck bucks.
I got an email from Kickstarter about it, actually.
Well, you got a couple emails, didn't you? I remember one email you were saying that like you had to like re-verify your identity.
Well, not on this campaign. That was on the previous one. But they have, what do they call it? Hold on a second. Let me look. It is. Let me see. I might have it on my phone. Oh no, I guess I don't have it on my phone. I got it in the email then.
So you want to explain what it is that we're looking at a little bit?
So this is Tibby's 4th of July 2026 art print campaign. We are getting out this 4th of July themed art print. The art composition was inspired by Norman Rockwell art, and of course it's Damian Torres's specific art style. Our girl Tibby from Tibby and her time traveling psychedelic mushrooms. It's a beautiful print, actually. I have.
Oh well,
right here.
So let's take a look. Yeah, that's sharp.
And that's the holochrome. Isn't that
and I know fantastic? The camera doesn't do any justice, but in this case, like the way that you had that, we can actually see like the chrome, and it looks pretty sharp, bro. Actually,
it's beautiful. It's beautiful work. The original should be here Monday, and so we've got that open for someone who, if they want to claim it, available through the campaign. And we've had people picking up the spicy print, the cover from issue 2, and we just now had a few people pick up some of the fantasy themed art. These are all Damian Torres pieces. A couple of them are colored by Nick Capone, and then we have social goals rather than stretch goals, because there's not a lot of wiggle room in the shipping on this. So our social goals at 100 backers, Damian Torres gets a bonus, and at 300 backers, the villain support team, who are we sponsored for the week for ad reads, will be getting a bonus. And half of our backers right now are from villain support, from the link we provided to them. And on top of that, of those 8 or 9, I think it's 9 backers that we have from villain support right now, all but 2 of them, it's their first time pledging to a Kickstarter campaign. So I put my first update out today, and it talks about, for the first time backers, what they can expect with Kickstarter, about how we're going to send out a backer survey so we can get your address information to ship your stuff to, and stuff like that, just so they understand the process. Because with it being their first time experience with it, I want their first Kickstarter experience to be a good one.
No doubt. I think it's helpful to anyone out there that runs a Kickstarter. If you have like a little how-to tutorial or a little explanation, like Sam said, right, on what to expect as far as like, wait times and, maybe how things are packed, or, what to expect when you start shipping, whatever it is,
And actually we did that too. We have a shipping thing that we put on this that shows people how we package these art prints and how they're going to ship. There's a little video of it on the story page. So tried to make sure we were as transparent as we could be. And yeah, really excited. We've got more than 40 people who have saved the campaign that haven't pledged yet, and that's really interesting as well.
The pledging, folks. You only got 4 days left.
Yeah, it's only a 7-day. Yeah, it's only a 7-day campaign. So I mean, we are literally about halfway through. We're going to end on the 1st, about 5 minutes until midnight Eastern time. And I'm really excited to see where we end up at. I have a hope that we'll at least get to the first social goal, and I think if we can get to the first social goal, we have a really good chance of getting to the second.
You know, I like the fact that you call it social goals. Like how did you come up with that?
Well, it used to be a thing that we saw a lot in RPG campaigns. Rather than having just stretch goals, you'd have some folks who would do like a social goal where if we got to like 100 backers or so, then they would take and do like a live stream with their own group to the people who were sponsoring, who were backing the project, and they would go on and talk about different ways they DM or stuff like that, or they would have like different milestones in it, like, hey, if we hit like $5,000 on this, we're going to make sure that not only do we color this map in the adventure, but we're also going to take and send you a prep file so you can get it printed poster size at your local, local store or whatever, right? Different little things that don't necessarily add to the shipping weight, but that add to the value of the community, of the product, or of the people attached to that project. So there were some that they would say, hey, we have some artists on here, and they did this work as a favor to us, but we'd like to get them paid. So if we get to like this, that kind of thing. We used to see that a lot before the pandemic. And so I'm just trying to bring that back a little bit with this, because I try to make sure that when something performs well, that the team makes money, extra money usually, right? So for example, in comics, after we're profitable, then I'll go ahead and assign royalties to the team on the back end for the digitals. So every time someone buys the digitals, they get a nickel or whatever, right? With this one, Damien's been paid, the villain support guys have been paid, but being able to pay Damien more is good for Damien, and what's good for the people who are working for me is always good for me, right? So because he's got more projects of these coming up this year. He's doing one for Thanksgiving, one for Christmas. He's doing a Reign of Ages print. He's got Tibby or Time Traveling Psychedelic Mushrooms. The man is going to be busy, right? So if I can put more money in his pocket and make things easier on him at home doing so from social goals, I'm all for that. And the same thing for the villain support guys. If we get to 300 backers on an art print campaign, that's way outside the norm. Like normally I don't even hit 100 backers on art print campaigns. So getting to 300, and we've already seen from the traffic that they've been sending us, more than half of the overall traffic has been hitting us has been from that channel. So getting to those levels, and on the other side too, bringing in whole new customers in addition to the existing customers, I think that's definitely a big team play, and very much so worthy of making sure they get a bonus on it. So just had to figure out where the money was, and the money happened to come out at about 300 backers. And since I've never actually hit 300 backers in any campaign, I figured it was a great milestone.
Well, we got to change that, man. We got to get Sam at 300 backers. Nyobi Outbreak number 5 did 300 exactly, after we picked up a few people in late pledges, And by the way, folks, technically that campaign's still open. You can't get anything physical from it because I shut that part down so I can finalize what the hell it is I'm ordering, right? But digital is wide open. I'll keep digital wide open until we start delivering, So if anyone, who does read digitally wants to jump in on some Nyobi Outbreak, you can still back digitally. I mean, that's still an option for you until I start sending out books, and I'm just going to shut down all the digital tiers too, right? And then I
don't know if we're going to do late pledges on the Tibby one yet. I've had some people ask about that, if we were going to do it. And with us shipping in July here, and starting shipping really probably on the 2nd, I don't know if I want to leave that open or not. But if we're past the first social goal, I'll probably leave it open to see if we can reach the second social goal, because we're definitely getting our money's worth on the traffic from the villain support guys right now. It's just it might not be the product for everyone who's coming to it, and so I think it's gonna be neat. We've even had a couple of people who have pledged for for no tier, just pledge to lend some support to the campaign from the link that we provided the support guys. So that's a nice indicator that we're seeing support from that community.
This is it, man. Guys, I'm just quickly scrolling through this. I'm not gonna, bore you with the details of this campaign. You're friends of the channel. You've seen this 100 times. But for anyone new dropping in, as I said, this is still available digitally. You can get all 5 issues digitally. You can still get the entire collection digitally if you want, or just issue 5 digitally. It's all up here for grabs, and we're almost done. So if you still, maybe you're just learning about Nyobi for the first time, or you meant the back and didn't get around to it. Now's the time. As I said, a lot of this stuff you can't actually pick up now. Like I shut down all the art stuff, right? The cards were fucking cool though. We'll definitely be doing this again on a future campaign. I would like to do like when we get to Savage Syn, like just a small set of Savage Syn cards. You know what I mean?
I found a source for metal cards. Yes.
Well,
I'm looking at doing some probably next year.
So yeah, guys, that's just a scroll through that. So the link is in the chat there if you're interested in that. Let's talk. Sam, you haven't seen Supergirl, have you?
Not yet. Not yet. I do want to go see it, but I've been so tied up between campaigns and everything else I've got going on with work, and it's just been busy. I still want to see what is it? No, it's the Discovery. Was it Discovery
No, it's
Day Disclosure Day.
Disclosure
Day. Yeah, I still want to see that. Yeah, I still want to see that, and I haven't seen it yet. But Supergirl, I want to see. But the big thing I want to see this summer is the Spider-Man movie.
Well, I did see Supergirl. I just got back from. I'm going to talk about it a little bit, but I'm going to not spoil anything. I mean, there's not really too much to spoil anyhow. But
there's a lot about it online already.
Lobo's in the goddamn movie. Superman's a little bit in the movie. I mean, those are your 2 real big, cameo characters outside of, Supergirl and the other chickie that she's running around with, I mean, my overall vibe of it is it's a decent movie. I mean, I don't understand the hate that it's got, but if you're going into it expecting like an Avenger scale sort of movie, it's not that. You know what I mean? It's closer to a Guardians of the Galaxy, as you might expect with James Gunn involvement, than it is anything else. I thought.
I actually really like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Yeah,
I think they're a lot of fun.
You'll probably enjoy this, right? It's not as funny as the Guardians movies are, right? I think that with Supergirl, they're still trying to find their footing here, right? This is the second DC movie underneath sort of the new regime. And I think this movie, more or less, was just meant to set up Supergirl for future shit. You know what I mean? Here's who the character is. Here's an introduction to her. Here's, her brief story on Krypton. Here's, a little brief interaction on Earth. But really, she's a broken woman. She's, it's just like the trailers portray, right? She is a... somewhat of a party girl. She's drowning out her sorrows, and she's got to kind of find who she is, sort of person, And by the end, you do get there. But again, if you're expecting like the snap or something from Avengers, it's not happening, right? It's not that scale of a movie. This is more of an introductory setup for a character that we're going to see, probably plenty of times in the next 5 to 10 years in these DC movies, So I thought Millie Alcott was fine. I liked her from House of the Dragon. She was like, in it for most of season 1, right, as the young Rhaenyra. And she did a fucking bang out job on that. So James Gunn had saw that, and that's why he casted her. And, not too often, like on Facebook, you see like a cast, yeah, that's an epic choice. Usually I'm pretty like, really? That's the best you can do? With her, I was like, yeah, no, I want this. And I'm glad we got it. I think that she's got good chemistry with the guy that plays Superman, David, whatever his name is.
I don't remember what his name is, but he's
now, of course, Lobo, was in the movie. he's a lot of fun, but you don't see a lot of him, right? If I was to give sort of like 2 or 3 critiques, if you will, a little bit more Lobo. I mean, you do get him. Don't get me wrong. But it's not like he's with Supergirl throughout the entire thing. You know what I mean? It's not like, you know, they're buddy, you know, our couple team up, right? He gets involved for kind of his own reasons. And I think the only reason why we even see him, again, is an introductory to a character that we are going to get again in the future. You know what I mean? Yeah. So here's a little bit of him. You know, here's a little bit of, you know, Superman to sort of strengthen, you know, the Supergirl's connection with him. And of course, you get a lot of Crypto the dog. You know.
Well, the dog's epic.
I mean, they were selling these like plushies of the dog, and I don't know, they're like about they're about the size of a small teddy bear, and they were $17 each. And they weren't fucking cheap. You know what I mean?
It's hard to get plushies made anywhere at all other than China, right? In the United States, getting made in China is terrible because of, you know, tariff concerns and things like that. But
now the other,
as the guy who wants to get Samurai Squirrel plushies made, trust me, I get it. It's tough.
The other sort of nitpick, it's not even complaint, is again a big problem that these superhero movies have is lackluster villains. You know, where the villain is kind of bland, but the hero sort of outshines. Like, you know, like in Avengers, we got Thanos. You know, we had Loki. You know, we've had some interesting villains, Ultron, right? But in Supergirl, and I understand that, you know, this particular story is adapted loosely from the Woman of Tomorrow, and you know, she's dealing with these space bandits or whatever they are. But we need better villains, or at least better portrayals of these villains in these movies. You know, I'll tell you this: she kind of bounces from planet to planet a little bit, not too heavy, but you know, she goes to 2 or 3 different locations, right? And the fucking creatures are better than what we saw in The Mandalorian. Yeah, I'm saying it. The fucking aliens look better than some of the shit I've seen in Star Wars. Like, and I'm strictly talking last Star Wars movie, right? It's just one of the things I noticed, like, oh, you know, those aliens would have been cool in the fucking Star Wars movie. You know what I mean? So, you know, you get some decent, you know, quick action scenes with her. She's, you know, they touch upon, you know, the yellow sun, of course, and how that makes her stronger, and how she likes to get drunk at the red sun planets, you know, because she can drink, you know. The girl that sort of hangs out with her, the native of this planet or whatever, who wants to kill these bandits. She's an Arya. If you ever watch Game of Thrones, she's Arya Stark. She's a little girl with a sword and fucking has a revenge quest, you know? And that's it. You know, Supergirl, I'll say this. She's a little bit more meaner than Superman. Okay? She's, you know, she's not as...
She wasn't raised
by the Kents, and she's a little bit more violent. But it's not like something that like is over the top or anything, you know. But Superman has a code. Supergirl doesn't follow this code like he does. Let's just put it that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do I think it's a movie you could take Willow to?
She's definitely more raw.
You could take Willow to it. You know what I mean? Like, it's nothing over the top. You know, like it's.
You think so? You think so? You think she'd be age appropriate for a 12-year-old?
I mean, yeah. Yeah, no, fucking. I think she'd dig the movie, man. You know. Yeah, I think it's fine.
She doesn't know anything about Supergirl, so that might be a good one.
It's a fun.
I'll tell you, she is loving classic Spider-Man stuff.
Right on. This is it. So I mean, that's my overall vibe. I didn't hate it. I didn't walk out going, "That fucking movie sucked." I actually walked down. I looked at my buddy and said, "You know, I don't understand the hate." You know, it's a movie. You know, it wasn't the most horrible thing in the world. It wasn't the most epic thing in the world. But I looked at it for what I knew it was going to be. It's a setup movie to introduce us to Supergirl, who's going to be eventually probably part of the Justice League or wherever it is that they're going to work towards. Like all these characters, they're not here just for one shot and gone. They're making connections.
Well, we would hope not, right? You hope that they're going to do something with them.
This franchise needs a chance to grow, right? So when that first Superman movie came out, people hemming and hawed on it. Supergirl came out, people are really hemming and hawing on it. But I recognize what they're doing, and that's world building. And not even world building, they're universe building, And they're going to keep adding on to that with the Green Lantern series that's right around the corner. So that's going to be a big deal, actually, especially when it concerns like sort of the overall cosmic vibe. Now, a lot of it's going to take place on Earth, but it's Green Lanterns. There is going to be a cosmic vibe to the show, So,
or if we're going to get Kilowog, that would be cool. Kilowog's a cool character.
Yeah. I mean, I know Guy Gardner, played by Nathan Fillion, who was in the Superman movie, is reprising his role, at least somewhat. Right. So, like I said, there's all this shit connects, right? So they're world building, and they're setting up these characters for hopefully eventually their own sort of Avengers-like sort of scenario, right? A lot of people want to compare it to the Snyder stuff. I think this is more fun than the Snyder stuff. Right? I'm not a Snyder sort of Justice League hardcore. I watched it. I thought the first one was fine. I tried to watch that extended version. It felt like I was watching a 4-hour fucking marathon of Lord of the Rings, and I just couldn't get through it. It was fucking boring, man. But these are a little bit more fast-paced, a little bit more comic booky, a little bit more quirky, especially that first Superman movie, right? That was really almost cartoon over the top, with the monsters he was fighting and, all the shit that was happening, right? Supergirl, like I said, it's a space romp, Guardians of the Galaxy, lots of spaceships and aliens and stuff like that, So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I'm not going to dissect it any further, but don't listen to all the bad reviews. I mean, I listen to them, in the sense of like, I check them out. And I'm like, you know what? This kind of actually just makes me want to see it all that much more. Because if it's that bad, I got to see it. If it's like Madam Web bad, right? Maybe I need to see it just so I can laugh at it, right?
The reviews on that were so bad, I never even went to see it.
Yeah, I tried to watch a little bit of it. It's not, nah. Maybe someday I'll pick it up again and watch it, but it's not that bad. Trust me, if you can handle the average Marvel movie, and I'm not talking like the better ones, I'm just talking like the average ones, right? Then that's what this is, And of course, people got different opinions on the Marvel movies, right? If you watch the Marvels or the Captain Marvel movie, it's probably slightly better than that, Now, a lot of people didn't care for those, but it is what it is, and what it is what it is, man. So we're not going to be on for too long here. I just wanted to come on and touch base and say hello and let people know I'm okay, I'm all right, I'm here. Going to be gearing up towards hopefully some bigger and better here as the summer sort of rolls out. Touch base with Sam and whoever else wanted to jump in, but I think it's just me and you, so we don't need to be on all night, but
busy tonight, and then Pete is, Pete's busy, definitely, because he's
no, I haven't talked to him in months.
World Cup stuff. World Cup stuff.
Yeah.
And then Warren is on live stream at the moment.
There you go, downtown Warren Brown. Phil Leon just celebrated her birthday a couple of days ago. So happy birthday, Phil Leon.
Yep.
Oh, dang it, man. I haven't talked to you in a while, man. Gotta get you in off air someday, man.
Yep.
Locke's working hard on Marvel cards.
Locke had a birthday.
Oh, did he? Happy birthday, Locke. That one didn't pop up for me.
He really did. Yep, I almost missed it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign that we're all getting older.
Well, it beats the alternative.
Yeah,
man.
There is that. You know what I mean?
It really does. It beats the alternative because the alternative to getting older is not great. Less than optimal.
This is the Duckman check-in. Don't forget to get some pigtails. Yeah. So, like I said, we'll keep it short and sweet tonight. I'm just gonna sort of relax and maybe watch some Night of Champions, the WWE. Even though I know all the results because it's all over online.
I think I'm gonna watch some anime.
What's going to be on the docket tonight?
I don't know. I'll think about it. I might watch Overlord because I decided here recently I was going to buy something for myself, and I got my One Punch Man fig, and then I did this online thing for my insurance company, for my health insurance, and they gave me a $50 Amazon gift card, and so I ordered another anime fig with it. So I've got another anime. I don't even remember what anime fig I ordered. It was one I had marked in my list I would want one day, and I don't remember.
Well, then it'll be a nice surprise when it arrives, eh?
Yeah, I think it's here Thursday or Friday or something like that.
Yeah, this is what I got. It's like Merry Christmas,
Yep. One thing that surprised me, and I'm gonna take it back to crowdfunding for a second. This art print campaign, the average pledge amount is way higher than on my comics. And
do you know why?
I don't.
Well, I don't. I'll explain it to you.
Because what's happening is we're getting a lot of people adding on.
The reason why is because if you look at the last campaign, again, about 40% of your backers, just like mine, were all digital. Okay, so you gotta take.
There isn't really a digital option.
So not only are they paying for the price of the print, but Kickstarter also adds in the shipping onto your grand total.
Right, and I've got the shipping built into the pledge tier for the U.S. backers, and then the difference in shipping is added for internationals. And I think so far we've had almost everyone's been from the U.S. except for one of our regular backers in the Netherlands.
So your average pledges on Kickstarter are going to take into account all those digital pledges. You know what I mean?
Yes, true enough. And I didn't even think about that. But yeah, we're getting a lot of add-ons though too. So.
Well, that's only going to make that divide even greater.
Yeah, and so I think we're averaging somewhere around $40 or something. I'll look up the information here. You know how in the dashboard it tells you, and I'll look that up here in a little while. But I think it's probably somewhere around $40.
I mean, this is it, guys. Don't discount digital, right? Especially when you start having a library of stuff and you can bundle it all together. Like, fuck, you know what I mean?
And it makes it so smooth for fulfillment.
I mean, you just however you do it. For me, it's a Dropbox link. Here, you guys go get your files.
I have one creator that I backed the digital on, and the thing he's using for fulfillment, every time I access it, it throws a security alarm on my my network security stuff. So I'm not able to get my stuff right now. I've got to reach out.
Just give him the WeTransfer to you or some shit,
Yeah, I'll figure it out. Yeah, I'll figure it out. I might point him at drive-through so that he can, because he was talking on Twitter the other day about how can I monetize my stuff. And it's like, drive-through comics, bro.
Well, I mean, that's
we did $11 on drive-through yesterday.
I got.
I mean, that's pretty good for one day,
So drive-through. Anyone out there listening, like, where should I put these comics? Drive-through is one for sure. Gumroad is your other one.
Gumroad, yeah. Okay. Gumroad, yeah. And then when your series or your story arc is done, I would also look to Amazon.
I'm just talking digital right now, but I suppose Amazon does.
Right, I'm talking
Kindle, right?
Yeah, digital too.
So I got to look into Amazon, and God, I had one other spot in my head that I'm kind of blanking out on now, but. There's a couple different options for you guys to sell, online, whether it's physical or digital. I don't get a lot of digital sales like out in the wild, through drive-through or Gumroad. I might get 4 or 5 a year between the two. I don't get much from that, So But on the drive-through, it's all my older stuff that's uploaded there, so I gotta like update it with Outbreak 3 and 4 and Savage Syn and shit. But all that stuff is on Gumroad, right? But on the original drive-through, that has all the old Nyobi black and white stuff, so people like want to read those original Nyobis, I kind of point them towards there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely update that, man, because I think there's a lot to be said. I know it's not making me tons of money, but it's usually paying my gas bill, and there's a lot to be said for a bill getting paid.
Yeah, well, this is where I'm going to mention eBay to people. Okay?
Yep.
eBay's going to take a fee, just like Kickstarter takes a fee, but they're providing you with a site where you can sell your stuff that's got a lot of eyeballs, especially on comics, So you take your little hit on the fee, but at the same time, it's almost like a crowdfunder in the sense where you're able to sell those back issues of any overstock that you got, and on top of that, you're not limited to just selling your own shit. If you got, trade paperbacks you no longer read, or, old toys you no longer want, whatever it is, you can put all that up on eBay and generate some passive income. It's nice when eBay sales come through, because A, you're getting money, but B, you're mailing out books. Like, most of the time it's Nyobi stuff that I'm mailing. So, Nyobi stuff's, that's more books going out in people's hands out there in the wild and out there in the world, That's what we want.
There's a whole lot to be said for people reading your book and be able to access it. You'd be surprised, man. Like, sometimes I was in the comic shop and I had my Sinopa t-shirt on because I was hoping to catch the owner, but I got my days confused. And they're like, which books do you put out? And I got through several of them, and then I got to Tibby, and the guy behind the counter was like, oh yeah, I heard about that. It was a couple of years ago. I'm like, yep.
Well, look, you had a bit of buzz on that. I remember it, right?
People enjoyed that when we sold completely out of the press run, and if the Diamond bankruptcy hadn't hit, we would have.
Well, I just remember being on a couple different streams with you. I think Beyond Wednesdays may have been one, and then Swagahos was the other. And like anyone that,
they were really hot.
They seem to jump on that, and those are the type of guys that you want jumping on that. They're the ones that sort of I don't want to say they can, put a book on on everyone's radar, but they certainly help. You know what I mean? Because both of those two shows in particular cater to collectors. I'm sure readers watch too, but I mean, with Tibby, there was like a good, sort of collector's value, I think, to that book. Like some other Antarctic press books, like Rags and stuff like that.
I think people are going to really enjoy issue 2 also. I think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to enjoy that one. Issue 3, I think the turn on that one's going to probably cement it in people's minds. Okay, we can look forward to some really funky time travel adventures with this. So I'm really happy.
This is it, guys. This is what we do. We tell you the good and the bad. We walk you through the ups and downs. I mean, it's legit though. If anyone has been watching this channel for the last 5-6 years, you've seen the fucking roller coaster. That's my life. I mean, I'm pretty much an open book on here. And when I'm down and out, it's kind of known. And when I'm on a high, it's kind of known. And everything in between, and I'm just glad I got people like Sam riding shotgun here with me, just keeping an eye on things, and everyone else that's checked in on me. I think things are looking up. Bottom line, you know what I mean. I think things are looking up, and if I can put away some money, great. Even better, because the plan will be Nyobi, the trade paperback for Outbreak. That's the next project. Okay. Because I could start off with Savage Syn, knowing I got a few extra bucks coming in, but what I'd rather do is just do the trade, because that's going to be mostly profit for me, right? Like, I'm not paying any art teams outside of a cover or two, and I can, bank that money on top of a little bit of money that I can bank from my new job And then we can really make a push with either the new Savage Syn or Nyobi, whatever I think is going to net the most. You know what I mean?
And being able to handle the cash flow is really important on the business aspect of being an indie creator. Because you've got to be able to make those payrolls, and you've got to be able to get those printings done and all that. So never let it be said that the passion is the only thing, because you have to have the passion certainly, but you have to be able to manage
there's been a
your
couple
business
artists out there that reached out to me and they're like, hey, we see you're struggling and this and that, and both of them said, hey, what if we do a Kickstarter deal, like where I draw you the pages and you raise the money and then give me 50 or 60% of the Kickstarter fund. And I just said nope, and I'll tell you the reasons why. Because if it doesn't do enough, then no one's getting shit. You know what I mean?
Well, that in the book might not even get done at that point. That's a real concern.
Because art's expensive, and I can't guarantee what we would make. You know what I mean? And so I don't want someone working for potentially next to nothing, or me having to have the owe someone out of pocket, right? Just can't have that. If I don't have the money to do it, or I don't think I can get the money to do it, then it waits. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, we did our first 3 books were done on like a royalty basis, and that just didn't work out well. No one was making any money on it. And I mean, now don't get me wrong, after 8 years, people have made the money and then some. But I mean, 8 years to get paid basically from that kind of contract, that's just not worth it for anybody, and it doesn't do anyone
making
any
deals
favors.
like that, honestly, on such small scale print runs, no one's netting much. You know what I mean? So I would advise people out there, just pay your flat rates, because if you have to keep fucking paying and paying and paying, Sam, what Sam does works for Sam. Don't get me wrong. Sam can make his own recommendations. I would say, if you're doing a small project, what's your rate for the pages? Good, pay it. They're yours. But there are other ways. Royalties can work. But I think royalties work better. If you have a high sales count.
Right. Like I said, we don't do that anymore for the main pages or anything. Not since like the 3rd RPG book, right? Everything else is paid, per page, per illustration, whatever. But then, like I said, when we have a book that becomes profitable, we do put on a royalty. We add on a royalty on the back end for the drive-through stuff, just to keep people getting a little money in as things come in. And I think that even if it is only like $10 a month or $20 a month or whatever that these artists are seeing from it, the real important part is that they're still making money on the project. And I think it goes a long way towards establishing a really good working relationship and really motivating people to keep working with you.
Treat them fair, they'll treat you fair. That's the way it goes. Blight Blazer says, Sam, going to be doing some anime watching.
That's for sure.
I'm going to let him go do that here in a few minutes. We're just sort of wrapping up and just sort of unwinding here, as long as there's some good advice being thrown out, we keep it open. Synthetic Panels is in the chat. How's the baby doing? Must be 6 months old by now. Bundle of joy. It's a little inside joke there, but of course I saw Synthetic Panels on the Razor Comics live show he ran the other night. The Razor Comics Ceasefire. We should pop by his channel sometime, Sam, when he does another one of those open calls, and just jump in and.
Oh, cool. Yeah, sounds like fun. Oh, cool. Yeah,
he had one going on yesterday, but I wasn't in the mood to, jump in or do anything. I was watching it, but I was just sort of down and out watching it, Good friend of the channel, though, was on there. Tat's Comics. It was good to see Tat, on a stream. Tat does his own little show, right? He'll show off his hauls and stuff. But to see his face and to see him hang out as long as he did and just have some fun last night, was good, So shout out to Tat's Comics if you're out there, brother. You know what I mean? So yeah, we got to get maybe a little bit more active in some of these shows, I think, coming up, if there's any to go on. I don't do a lot of shows anymore, right? I'll go on Razors, Brian McClay if he'll have me, Swaggle Haas if he'll have me, right? Sometimes they'll throw out links or do open call nights or whatever, right? And then JD Calderon.
Pete Sametti hasn't been doing Yeah, JD's doing his. Pete Samedi hasn't been doing his. He's had something that he hasn't really been talking about public. I'm not privy to what it is, but apparently it involves separation of some different people who aren't putting their titles through Alterna anymore. So I'm hoping that he'll be able to get whatever it is that's affecting him under control and get back to it, because Pete's been, a staple of the indie comic community for decades now. So, and by decades,
he's gone through some stuff.
But
he's lost printers. He's lost, controversy with talent, in the sense of like, maybe they felt that he was too close to Comicsgate. He's lost people because of that. So there's a variety of reasons for Alterna. You know what I mean? And then they were another victim of the Diamond Fall. I mean, Alterna at one point was in shops, and now I think the only way that Pete really does business is through like whatever personal site he runs and Indiegogo. You know what I mean? Or maybe Fund My Comic at this point. Guys, I'm gonna tell you this right now. You have a couple different options for crowdfunding, but your only real option is Kickstarter. It just is. Right? You can go to Fund My Comic and make a couple $100 if you're lucky. You might be able to do the same on Indiegogo. But if you want to make better than that, you need to be looking at Kickstarter. It just is. Let's see here. Blake Blazer says, I randomly saw the Blood Oath guy was going to put out his stuff out still, but obviously without Alterna. Yeah, see, I don't know any of the titles, but Pete Samedi's a smart guy. He'll figure it out. You know what I mean? He's been in this.
He's always been really, really gracious to me. I like Pete a lot.
He's been in this business long enough. I'm sure he knows.
22 years, right?
He knows. I mean,
yeah.
Fuck, I was you'll do like these Facebook memories. They show up every day, right?
Yeah.
So I was going through my Facebook memories today, and there was like a post from 2020 where I was all excited that I had submitted Nyobi to Alterna. So, right?
Oh, that's cool.
And Pete was pretty cool, with the submission. Like he didn't take the book, obviously, but he gave me feedback to why. It was the same feedback I got from a couple of other places, right? You need to improve the art a little bit, and it needs to be in color. Those were the two. And then the third thing that people would say is Nyobi needs a costume, like a superhero outfit. And we still never gave her one, but maybe that's down the road. She'll have to actually
maybe one day
get like a team set of outfits. When I finalize who's going to be in the Bad Girl Academy. You know what I mean? And we got 4 or 5 characters that are kind of hanging out with Nyobi now as we sort of build that world. And it's like the Supergirl movie, or like the new DCU. It takes time to sort of build your own playground. You know what I mean? You can do one character in one setting.
It really does.
And be fine with that. But, I'm adding in new characters all the time. And they're not just support cast for Nyobi. They're characters who, in theory, could spin out into their own shit, if things were to blow up, For now, they're Nyobi supporting characters, but I could easily do a book on Avani, which I have back in 2019, or do a book on Cinder, or do a book on Catcall, do all their origin fucking stories, at some point, right? But
interesting characters oftentimes demand their own stories.
Right?
Look at Nightwing,
Well, this is it, right? But they'll start off in the main title, and if we see better results in our Kickstarters, maybe we start having a little bit more money to play with, then maybe I can make the same mistake I made with Savage Syn and start experimenting with more shit that I shouldn't be doing. And we see if lightning strikes twice.
I think that before I add any new titles, and I'm looking at maybe adding 2 titles next year, but the caveat to that is there has to be money in the budget to get those rolling. Because I don't want to have to fund more than half of the production value through Kickstarter. Because it's very rare that I have a campaign that hits 7K or higher. I think I've only done it like 2 or 3 times, And realistically, with art costs now running about 10 to 12K per book, it's a tough call.
That's it, man. Blight Blazer still hanging in. He says it was Blood Realm. My bad, but still. Yeah.
Blood Realm,
now that he says it right now, that kind of clicks. He says, I guess we won't know what happened. Well, eventually, I'm sure it will come out. You know. Follow Pete Samedi on Twitter, and I'm sure eventually, the goods will be laid down, man.
I mean, he's usually pretty discreet about stuff like that. He'll definitely only tell what he can without causing any
ruckus,
any problem for other people.
Yeah, he's kind of calm, quiet. What's the word? Mannered. Like Clark Kent, calm and quiet mannered guy. How'd they say that? Mild mannered. Thank you. Mild mannered reporters. Pete Samedi. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm pretty fond of the dude. He's pretty cool.
I would say this to people. If you're looking for publication, right now, Antarctic's your best bet. And I'm not saying that because I run with them, but I am saying that because I run with them because I've tried submitting to a bunch of different publishers, and the one that gave me the chance, and the one that gave Sam a chance, and the one that gave Max a chance, okay, was Antarctic Press. Now, did we do gangbusters and make millions of dollars? No. But did the books get out to shops, and are they able to be ordered? Yes. Okay. And that's the start. Tom Hutchinson with Critter, also Antarctic. You know what I mean? So it never hurts to check with Antarctic, especially if you got a complete story arc, or if you got something that's like a decent one shot that could maybe help fill in one of their anthologies. It's a foot in the door. It's not, it's not your end goal. It's your first step. Okay. And by first step, I mean your first step in the publishing world. And then from there, once you get a few titles underneath your belt or a few issues, and, maybe you help Antarctic grow, or they help you grow, or maybe you eventually move on to a different publisher altogether down the road. I still would love to do something with Image, but I don't think we're Image ready.
Yeah.
But maybe I submit Savage Syn the Image and see what happens,
I think I would like to do, and I'll say this now because there's a few of us are listening who are listening on the show have read the book. I think I might pitch like some Tibby stuff for heavy metal.
Yeah. I think you definitely should.
And I mean, do like instead of like a full blown comic, maybe like they used to do, like single page stories or 2 to 4 page inserts, stuff like that. I think there's a lot that would work really well.
100
with Tibby for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Tibby would do well in heavy. I've offered them Savage Syn, but I never heard anything back. I thought maybe we could just run 8 pages of Savage Syn in the books. You know what I mean? And then every couple of months, just run 8 more or something. But maybe I'll have to bug them again. I didn't go through any official guidelines, so I just kind of messaged someone and said, here's what I would like to do, and I just never heard anything back.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to them. We're doing the Tibby and Rain crossover little short thing. And that seems like that might be something that would work really well in heavy metal. So
this is it.
We'll see.
You got any?
Worst they can say is no,
or not respond to you. That's what I get.
I mean, I can handle that. Well, I mean, I can handle that because plenty of people don't respond to me by I reach out to them. I write my local congressman. I never hear back. So.
He knows who you are.
God, I hope not.
Anything coming up? Any convention shows or anything like that?
I haven't finalized my calendar for the end of the year yet, which is shameful. I'm just trying to get through this first half of July. There is a possibility I'll be doing Cincinnati, and I'm looking really hard at maybe doing Motor City Con. But there's a few things that have to happen for that.
I got nothing lined up for the summer. I mean, and I'm glad that I don't, because new upcoming job is just going to squash anything like that anyway. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to be working weekends. The chance of me having a Saturday off to take off to a convention is going to be next to nil, and I'm not in the position to.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty.
I'm not
slim.
in a position with a call center job to start asking for days off because they don't work that way. you would either have to trade a
Right.
shift or, get lucky and you don't have to work that day, or you got to call in sick. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't want to use sick.
You can't really call in sick for a con. You're gonna
I mean,
get
you could.
some static over
I
that.
mean, you get what's called personal days or vacation days, and they sort of, you get like one every month. You know what I mean? So you
gotcha.
basically ends up being like 10 days a year that you can use for essentially whatever, right? So you have to
Gotcha.
bank those though, right? Like you don't start off with them, you got to earn them. But if I'm there for a few months and I bank up, 4 or 5 days, if something does come up, right, and I really want to do it, then that's what those are for. Or if you're really fucking sick, then that's what those are for. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
This is it, guys. This is the show. We are, about to wrap this up. If there's anything in the comments section, anything in the peanut gallery you want to ask me or Sam, good time to do it. Just a quick recap, man. We got the Tibby print campaign, 3 or 4 days left, something like that, right, Sam?
Yep.
Ends
on the first. And I want to say a quick shout out to Bright Blazer. Thanks for sharing the link on that campaign so much. I appreciate you.
We see your efforts on Twitter. Don't think it goes unnoticed. You know what I mean? And that goes to everyone that's out there, sharing anything that I'm doing or Sam's doing or anyone else that we're sort of connected with. It's greatly appreciated. I'm back on X. I haven't hit it heavy in the last little while. Like I haven't hit anything in the last little while. I've been.
Yeah, I put you on the Follow
I
Friday
saw
thread
that.
yesterday.
I forgot all about like what the hell is a Follow Friday. I got like 53 or 54 followers now. A few of them are like cam bots.
Yeah, I've thinned out some more bots, and I think I'm down to like 1,700 now, or 1,720 or something like 1,738. But yeah, there were some bots who followed in. I had to go clear them out because I just
The thing
don't want
about
them
Twitter
there.
though is I'll go on there, I'll scroll on there for 5 minutes, and then I gotta log off because if I don't, I end up getting involved in a thread or a fucking debate or something. Twitter's just one of those places where there's no winning.
People have been really nice to me on Twitter. It's people on Blue Sky who've been real jerks to me. But on Twitter, like I get engagement from Jimmy Palmiotti, Sandy Peterson, Jolly Blackburn, CJ Corella, who's one of my all-time favorite RPG writers. Just all kinds, and plus a lot of indie guys, obviously. It's been I took a long time cultivating stuff. Now my DMs on Twitter are really scary. I often loathe to open them.
All those
especially if I don't know. Yeah, I mean, from people I don't know. So I'm to the point now where if I don't know the person, I'm like, oh God, what's going to be on this? And but on Blue Sky, however, I get like hate mail. I got called the N word the other day. I got called the H word the other day. I got called a Nazi.
Why the hell are they fucking doing all this?
It's just through my DMs, man. I leave my DMs open, and
but I'm wondering, it's because you're none of those things. You know what I mean? Like,
I know, right?
So I don't understand like how they can even come up with the idea that you are these things. It's not like you're out there saying a bunch of crazy shit or running your mouth or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, so I just don't understand.
I had one person reach out to me there and like, you should hire me to take over the art for your projects. I'm like, no. I've got contracts.
Well, I mean, that is one source.
Like, you should hire
people
me.
Who like think that they're a shoe-in to do something with you, work with you, and then you kind of reject them and they get all fucking salty and shit.
They do. This person, I finally, they weren't listening to me, and I finally asked them. I said, "Can you draw?" And I got like a multi-paragraph rant of butthurt, and I was like, "I'm just asking if you can draw." And they never answered the question. So. It was definitely
Blazer
weird.
says, fear the DMs. Apparently so. Yeah,
the Twitter DMs scare me because you never know what's going to be in them.
I don't get anything like that, and you think if anyone would, maybe people would fire off more hate mail at me. But
well, you know what? I'm going to tell you, I'm grateful it doesn't happen as much anymore. But man, it did happen quite a lot there for a while.
And that's because, probably of the show.
Well, it started with some of Tyler's fans.
All right. Well, he's a person I haven't had contact with in a while, and I'm good.
No, I think he's been really busy. I miss Tyler.
You get along better with him than I do. Every time I talk to Tyler, it's a debate. Every fucking time, man. So I've just learned, Tyler, you leave me alone, I'll leave you alone, and go do your thing, because
I actually tend to get along with most folks. I mean, there's really only one person that you ever see me like, nope, not doing this, and that's for good reason.
It takes a lot to piss you off, bro. And believe me, I've watched you just mild mannered all the way fucking through a lot of shit, dude. You know what I mean?
Until I'm not.
Yeah, I've only ever seen you sort of get mad once, and even then it was kind of funny to watch. It's not something you do see. You know what I mean? But I think that about covers it, man. I don't know when the next live will be. I mean, there'll probably be one before now in August or July 6th. Because July 6th is when I start my training, right? So that's still a good week. So we'll probably do a show Wednesday. So we'll any Wednesday that I do happen to get,
I'll have more comics.
We're guaranteed for this Wednesday. Granted, if something crazy happens, and after that we can probably do one. For the next couple of weeks, because I'll just be in training during the day. You know what I mean? Unless if I'm like wiped, I can't see that. Probably be like, oh, good, I'm done work now. I can go do my own thing. We'll hit it up for the next Wednesday or two. But like I said, I will be working evenings. I will be working weekends. Every fucking 2 weeks, the shift's going to change, right? So I can't do anything on a on a schedule. Can't even try, because I know how these things work. I could be on one Wednesday, off the next Wednesday, on Wednesday again, but it's late at night or early in the day. Like, who fucking knows? It's the business is 24/7, and I have to be available to take shifts, whatever they're going to be. I mean, they have to give you some time in between, clearly, right? But so if you're working mostly nights, chances are you're not going to be scheduled for 8 a.m. the next morning. But
right.
One would fucking hope not. I mean, Jesus, now I'm putting fear in my head. Like, what? No, they can't do that. It's gonna be dealing with a lot of angry customers stuck on the side of the road, yelling at me where their tow truck is, But hey, I kind of look at it like this: once I can master their software and whatever it is they use to log and take calls and get out the support, yell at me. Go ahead, yell at me, because I'm going to be there to help you fucking get your tire fixed or get your battery going or get your car off the fucking road. Because if I'm fucking stuck, I know I'm going to want someone to help me, right? So I get it. You know what I mean? So at least I feel like I'm doing something noteworthy, as opposed to trying to sell someone or upgrade them on their fucking cell phone plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least you're doing a service. You're dealing with stressed out people, but I mean, you know why they're stressed, and you just tell them, man, like, look, I'm here to help you. Like some people want the tow truck there in 5 minutes. You know what I mean? It's like, 45 minutes, but trust me, they're on their way. They're going to assist you. Just hold tight. It's just stuff like that. And you just get those people, kind of wrapped underneath your side, and like, okay, like this guy's actually listening. He's going to help me. He's got someone on the way. The biggest problem with roadside, from a little bit of research I've been able to do, is wait times and trying to find out where the person's actually located. Right? Because they could be stuck off on the highway and all they see is fucking trees. You know what I mean?
Especially at night.
Right?
Especially at night. You might not be able to see the road sign. You got to start asking
questions like, okay, so...
Or if the weather's bad.
Well,
if the weather's
thank
bad,
God I'm starting in the summer. Because in the wintertime, it will be back-to-back calls, especially during storms, right? You know what I mean? At least in the summer. Like, a lot of people are traveling in the summer, which is why they're hiring. But, there's no fucking snow, there's no fucking ice, there's no slush, right? I'm like, I would imagine that that's busier than a hot summer, you know. I'm only going to be dealing with Jaguars and Land Rovers. Oh, nice. Right, but
oh, nice.
You know, those are high-profile clients who are a little bit more.
Yeah, those people are going to have high expectations. But by the same token, you know, those machines are usually built to higher standards, so you don't probably get as many calls.
Problem on Jaguars apparently. Because,
well, yeah,
they use a lot of electric charge, I guess, and they tend to. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got a couple of hybrid cars, right? Like electricity.
You know, I didn't think about that. There's hybrids. Hybrids are nice vehicles, but they do have some issues.
I mean, you know, anyone can get a punctured tire or fucking run out of gas. You know, a lot of this is going to be the same sort of shit.
Bullet through the windshield. Yeah.
Like one of the engine lights, you know, warning lights came on the car today when I was coming home from the movie. You know what I mean? And just learning what those are can help, because you can ask the customer, okay, you know, do you see any lights flashing on your dashboard, or can you know what do they look like, or fucking. I had to look one up today. So apparently we need a better. We got low tire pressure in our car somewhere. You know what I mean? That's the light that was coming up. You know, so we'll fix the tire pressure in our car tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I've got to replace a tire on my car, so I get that.
Sam, the actual Bruce Banner. Yeah. You wouldn't like him when
wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Yeah, he's like Lou Ferrigno.
Yep, it's not pretty. It is not
the original Hulk. You know what I mean? Might be too old. Blight Blazer might be too young to remember. You know, the original Hulk walking away to sad music at the end of every episode.
Yeah.
Not me. I barely remember it as a kid. And one of my uncles, he had one of these sort of button-up flannel shirts, right? And you know, we must have been 5 or 6, you know, kids, right? And he goes, "I'm the Hulk," you know, and like we all laughed. And I'm like, "You're not the Hulk." He goes, "I'm the Hulk," and he flexes his chest, and the little buttons pop. I'm like, "Oh, he's the Hulk!" And we ran away scared. You know what I mean? And good times, man. Uncle Leo, you're the best. You know what I mean? He's not watching. That's it, man. Any parting words, Sam?
Folks, please remember, in a world where you can choose to be anything, please choose to be kind.
Oh, man. Sam, I'm going to let you go. I'm not going to bother with an off-air or anything there. I'm just going to close it out. But
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
I got a couple of things I need to do. I actually spent a lot of the day cleaning house and sorting stuff to get ready for fulfillment. So we've got like the Reign of Ages stuff for fulfillment right here, except for the new books. And so it's literally going to be
like that, man.
Like that.
All right. Well, like that, we'll close this out. Have a good night, brother.
Have a good one.